Other questions, Trustee Casa?
Yes.
Do you have more questions?
I have a
Yes.
couple more, but
Thank
if
you.
anyone has, I don't want to dominate the time.
No,
So if anyone else
go
has
ahead.
others.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I have a lot of questions myself.
Okay.
So.
The document also makes reference to PFAS free. Can someone just define what that means? Because I know that in the past, different local governments that have looked at, implementing some of these policies PFAS free, they've run into some trouble with what that means exactly. And there may be some thought that PFAS free doesn't actually mean there are not PFAS in the turf. So can someone just clear that up for us?
So I don't speak legalese, so I can't.
Neither do I. It's okay.
But I derived that diction from a vendor specification. I can't cite the vendor right now. I don't want to showcase any sort of bias, but I did derive that from a vendor specification, and they were certified by a third party as using PFAS-free turf.
Often they say no PFAS added, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have PFAS as one of the basic ingredients. So you're right to ask the question.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was sort of trying to get at. Like, is that what we mean? Like no added PFAS, but there is still a presence of it in the turf? Or do we really mean, if you tested this stuff, it would not come up with PFAS?
I think we need to know if there's PFAS free.
So on the PFAS free, so what that means is that they are not, in terms of any of the products, that's backing materials, the fibers, extrusion, or the infill products that are being generally sourced usually from third-party vendors. They certify that all those three components, the backing, the fibers that go into the backing, and the infill materials, be it sand or whatever, the cork, that those are all PFAS-free products. And this is something we just did recently for a city and county in San Francisco for Crocker Amazon turf fields through the SFPUC and the city county requirements. They actually the owner hired a lab to go to the plants and certify all those products for PFAS free. As you know, everyone who's opponent of turf will tell you there's thousands upon thousands of PFASs. There's only so many tests. The tests run, there's under 100 PFASs that can be tested currently. So all the quote dangerous PFASs there are tests for, at least the ones they consider the most dangerous ones, and all those there are tests for. And so there's 2 or 3 labs that kind of specialize this. The city and county used one that was in California, and they did the testing. So they basically hire somebody to go out there, pull clip samples and test it at the factory, because that's the only way you can, show that it's going to be safe. But once, it gets shipped out, the chain of custody of that product, once it goes in the field, your environment has PFAS. I mean, there's PFAS all around us in this room, carpeting, all this. So once it goes out there, you're gonna contaminate it. So we do all the testing at the factory when it's coming off of out of the machines, because that's where they used to use it, is an extrusion. So we make sure, one, it's not in the product itself, and as well as it's not in the manufacturing of said product through the machinery. And that's where they basically certify there's no extruded PFAS as part of the manufacturing process, but that also goes a step further into the product itself.